several officers were dispatched here for trouble with the subject, domestic violence. When officers arrived, they attempted to make contact at the front door. They went around to the back door of the home. At that time, a subject came out of the...
In the quiet suburb of Warren, Michigan, a tragic event unfolded on April 14, 2023, when 18-year-old Hassan Al-Rahji, a Bangladeshi-American teenager, was fatally shot by police officers. The incident, which lasted a mere 7 seconds, has left the community grappling with questions, grief, and a desire for understanding. The shooting has sparked discussions about mental health, police training, and the use of force, as well as the broader issues of systemic racism and the relationship between law enforcement and minority communities. The events leading up to the tragic shooting began with a distressing 911 call from Hassan's teenage brother. In the call, the younger sibling reported that Hassan had not slept in 4 days and was assaulting family members. The desperation in the caller's voice was evident as he described his brother as going crazy. This call for help set in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead to a heartbreaking outcome.
Okay, what's going on?
He didn't sleep for 4 days. He was assaulting everybody.
It is important to consider the challenges that families, particularly those from immigrant communities, may face when dealing with mental health crises. Language barriers, cultural stigma, and a lack of awareness about available resources can make it difficult for families to seek the help they need. In the case of Hassan's family, it is unclear whether they had access to or knowledge of mental health support services that could have provided assistance in the days leading up to the incident. The 911 call also highlights the critical role that emergency responders play in handling mental health crises. It is crucial that 911 operators and first responders receive specialized training in de-escalation techniques and mental health intervention. They must be equipped with the skills and knowledge to assess the situation, provide appropriate support, and ensure the safety of all involved.
Sounds like mental health may be an issue in this case.
One of the most shocking revelations in the aftermath of the shooting was that Hassan's family was unaware he possessed a firearm. This information adds another layer of complexity to an already tragic situation, raising questions about how Hassan obtained the gun and why he felt compelled to arm himself.
The family did not know he had a firearm, so they do not know the reason that he may have obtained one.
The fact that Hassan's family was unaware of the firearm suggests a breakdown in communication and a lack of awareness about the potential dangers. It is possible that Hassan, like many young people, struggled to open up about his thoughts and feelings, leading him to seek solace in the possession of a weapon. This highlights the importance of fostering open and honest dialogue within families and communities about mental health, personal struggles, and the risks associated with firearms. It is also crucial to consider the accessibility of firearms and the effectiveness of gun control measures. How did Hassan, a young man of 18, obtain a gun without his family's knowledge? Are there loopholes or gaps in the system that need to be addressed to prevent firearms from falling into the hands of individuals who may pose a risk to themselves or others?
The commissioner says the gun was registered in the suspect's name and that he had legally purchased it from a private party.
These are complex issues that require a nuanced and multifaceted approach. While the Second Amendment protects the right to bear arms, it is essential that we balance this right with the need for public safety and the prevention of tragedies like the one that occurred in Warren. When police officers arrived at the scene, they were confronted with a rapidly escalating situation. As they approached the house and knocked on the front door, the garage door opened, revealing Hassan armed with a gun. In a matter of seconds, Hassan ran towards the officers, raising and pointing his weapon at them. Faced with an imminent threat to their safety, the officers made the split-second decision to open fire.
9mm handgun comes out.
Oh, go!
The teen was shot, the entire encounter taking just 7 seconds.
Shots fired!
The body camera footage, which was later released by the Warren Police Department, provides a chilling glimpse into those fateful moments. The video shows the officers retreating as Hassan advances, leaving them with little choice but to use lethal force. It is a stark reminder of the difficult and often dangerous situations that police officers face in the line of duty. However, the question remains, could the situation have been resolved differently? Were there opportunities for de-escalation that were missed? These are the questions that haunt the community and the loved ones left behind. These are valid concerns that warrant further examination and discussion. It is essential that we critically evaluate police training and protocols to ensure that officers are equipped with the skills and knowledge to handle high-stress situations while prioritizing the preservation of life. At the same time, we must acknowledge the incredible pressure and split-second decision-making that officers face in the line of duty. The body camera footage serves as a sobering reminder of the risks and challenges that police officers confront on a daily basis. The tragic shooting of Hassan Al-Rahji has sent shockwaves through the Bangladeshi-American community in Warren and the greater Detroit area. The community has come together to express their grief, anger, and concerns over the incident, grappling with the loss of a young life and the circumstances that led to such a heartbreaking outcome.
We hope that none of the parents and family and the community member have to go through that way. It is gruesome, it is brutal, it is senseless, and he was killed when his front eared.
The Bangladeshi-American community in Warren is a tight-knit group with strong cultural and social ties. Hassan's death has deeply affected the community as they mourn the loss of one of their own and struggle to make sense of the tragedy. Many have expressed feelings of fear, frustration, and a sense of vulnerability, wondering if their own children could face similar fates. Community leaders and activists have been vocal in their calls for a thorough investigation into the shooting. They demand accountability and transparency from the Warren Police Department, seeking answers to the many questions that remain. The community wants to know what could have been done differently and how similar tragedies can be prevented in the future. Dr. Muhammad Along, a respected figure in the Bangladeshi-American community and a friend of Hassan's father, expressed the community's anguish and concerns, stating, "Of course, family is going through the grief, the pain and suffering, and as a community we are mourning." His words reflect the deep sense of loss and the desire for change that has gripped the community in the wake of this tragedy.
Of course, family is going through the grief and pain and suffering, and as a community we are mourning.
As the community mourns and seeks answers, it is crucial that their voices are heard and their concerns addressed. The path forward requires open dialogue, community engagement, and a commitment to creating a more just and equitable society for all. In the aftermath of the shooting, Warren Police Commissioner Charles Rushton made several statements to the public, providing insights into the events that led to Hassan's death. Rushton confirmed that the gun Hassan possessed was registered in his name and had been legally purchased from a private party. He also noted that, according to the autopsy, drugs did not appear to be in Hassan's system at the time of the incident. Rushton's statements shed light on the circumstances surrounding the shooting, but they also raise further questions. The fact that Hassan had legally obtained the firearm adds another layer of complexity to the situation. It suggests that he had taken the necessary steps to acquire the gun through proper channels, which may indicate a level of premeditation or intent. However, it is crucial to remember that the mere possession of a legal firearm does not necessarily imply malicious intent. Many individuals choose to exercise their Second Amendment rights for a variety of reasons, including self-defense and sport. The fact that Hassan had a legally obtained gun does not, in and of itself, explain his actions on that fateful day. The absence of drugs in Hassan's system, as noted by Rushton, also raises questions about his state of mind and the factors that may have contributed to his behavior. However, his sister has stated that he was sleep-deprived, as well as having very little to eat over the previous day as well.
The family said he had only this to eat over the past several days.
Dates, the dates, and some water, holy water.
In an effort to provide transparency and clarity, the Warren Police Department made the decision to release the body camera footage of the incident. The video, which is intense and graphic, shows the rapidly unfolding situation from the officer's perspective. It is a chilling reminder of the split-second decisions that police officers must make in the face of imminent danger.
It is intense, it is emotional, and it is graphic.
The footage reveals that the entire confrontation lasted a mere 7 seconds. In that brief span of time, officers were forced to assess the threat posed by an armed individual running towards them and make a life or death decision. The video shows Hassan raising and pointing his weapon at the officers, leaving them with little choice but to use lethal force to protect themselves and others. The release of the body camera footage has been a crucial step in providing transparency and shedding light on the circumstances that led to Hassan's death. It has allowed the community to see for themselves the difficult and dangerous situation that the officers faced. However, it has also raised questions about police training, de-escalation techniques, and the use of force. Many in the community are wondering if there were opportunities for a different outcome. Could the officers have employed alternative tactics to subdue Hassan without resorting to lethal force? Were there warning signs that could have been addressed earlier to prevent the situation from escalating?
I think they could have like hold him down. He wasn't that strong, he was weak.
These are the questions that the community and law enforcement must grapple with as they seek to find a way forward. The release of the body camera footage has provided a measure of clarity, but it has also highlighted the need for ongoing dialogue, training, and reform to ensure that such tragedies can be prevented in the future. It is important to recognize that the decision to release the body camera footage was not made lightly. The video is graphic and disturbing, and its release has the potential to re-traumatize Hassan's loved ones and the wider community. However, the Warren Police Department likely felt that the need for transparency and accountability outweighed these concerns. Ultimately, the tragic shooting of Hassan Al-Rahji has highlighted the complex and challenging nature of police-community relations, particularly when it comes to issues of race, mental health, and the use of force. The release of the body camera footage has provided a measure of clarity, but it has also underscored the need for ongoing dialogue, reform, and a commitment to building trust and understanding between law enforcement and the communities they serve. The tragedy of Hassan Al-Rahji's death is compounded by the swiftness with which it unfolded. In a mere 7 seconds, a young life was cut short, leaving a family and a community devastated.
When officers arrived and knocked on the front door, the garage door opened. They spotted the suspect in the storm door with a gun and retreated. As he ran towards officers and raised and pointed his weapon at them, officers opened fire. The commissioner says there were 11 rounds fired.
The body camera footage released by the Warren Police Department reveals the heart-wrenching speed of the encounter. From the moment the officers arrived on the scene to the final, fatal shots, only 7 seconds elapsed. In that brief span of time, the officers were forced to make a split-second decision in the face of an armed individual running towards them. It is difficult to comprehend the weight of such a decision, made under immense pressure and with lives hanging in the balance. The officers, trained to assess threats and respond accordingly, had mere moments to determine the best course of action.
Could officer unarm him without shooting?
No. Once the individual pointed a firearm at officers, our officers took appropriate a level of force to defend themselves.
As we grapple with this tragedy, it is important to remember that every second counts when it comes to matters of life and death. The decisions made in those critical moments have far-reaching consequences, not just for the individuals directly involved, but for entire families and communities. The 7 seconds that ended Hassan's life serve as a stark reminder of the need for ongoing training in how we handle high-stress situations and mental health crises. Sleep deprivation can have a profound impact on an individual's mental health, leading to a range of symptoms including irritability, aggression, and impaired decision-making. It is possible that Hassan's lack of sleep, combined with little to no food, contributed to his erratic behavior and ultimately led to the confrontation with police.
I don't know, I think he was hallucinating. We needed help. We wanted him to get help. We didn't want him to get killed.
The link between sleep deprivation and mental health issues is well established. Prolonged lack of sleep can exacerbate existing mental health conditions and even trigger the onset of new ones. It can lead to a deterioration in cognitive function, emotional regulation, and impulse control, making it difficult for individuals to manage their thoughts and behaviors. In Hassan's case, the fact that he had not slept for 4 days, or even much either, suggests that he was likely experiencing significant mental distress. The aggressive behavior reported by his family, including the assault of family members, further indicates a state of mental crisis. This tragic incident highlights the critical importance of addressing mental health issues within our communities. It is essential that individuals and families have access to the resources and support they need to navigate mental health challenges. This is particularly true for immigrant communities, where language barriers, cultural stigma, and a lack of awareness about available services can make it difficult to seek help. The shooting of Hassan Al-Rahji serves as a stark reminder of the need for increased mental health resources, education, and outreach. It is crucial that we work to break down the barriers that prevent individuals from accessing the care they need, and that we provide culturally sensitive support to those who are struggling. It also requires a concerted effort to provide accessible, affordable, and culturally competent mental health services. This may involve increasing funding for mental health programs, training more mental health professionals from diverse backgrounds, and developing community-based interventions that meet people where they are. Furthermore, there is a need for improved collaboration between mental health providers, law enforcement, and community organizations. By working together, these groups can develop more effective strategies for identifying and responding to mental health crises, with the goal of preventing tragedies like the one that befell Hassan Al-Rahji. The question remains, how can we ensure that individuals like Hassan receive the help they need before a crisis escalates to the point of tragedy? It is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach, involving collaboration between mental health professionals, law enforcement, community leaders, and policymakers. Ultimately, the tragic incident that led to Hassan Al-Rahji losing his life underscores the urgent need for a more compassionate and proactive approach to mental health in our communities. It is a call to action to prioritize the well-being of all individuals, regardless of their background or circumstances, and to work towards a society where everyone has access to the support and resources they need to thrive. The shooting of Hassan Al-Rahji is a heartbreaking tragedy that has left a community in mourning and searching for answers. The incident, which unfolded in a matter of seconds, highlights the complex and challenging nature of police encounters with individuals in crisis. The body camera footage, released by the Warren Police Department, provides a glimpse into the split-second decision-making that officers face in the line of duty. Faced with an armed individual running towards them, the officers had little choice but to use lethal force to protect themselves and others. However, the tragedy also raises important questions about mental health, police training, and community support. Hassan's lack of sleep in the days leading up to the incident suggests that he may have been struggling with mental health issues, and the family's lack of awareness about his possession of a firearm highlights the need for increased education and resources.
As a member of this community, my heart goes to the family, to the condolences.
The Bangladeshi-American community in Warren has been deeply affected by this loss, coming together to mourn, support one another, and advocate for change. They have voiced their concerns about police violence, systemic racism, and the need for improved mental health services, particularly for immigrant communities. As the community grieves and seeks answers, it is crucial that their voices are heard and their concerns addressed. The path forward requires open and honest dialogue, community engagement, and a commitment to creating a more just and equitable society for all.
My message is clear, that as a community we are mourning, as a community we are freaked out, as a community we are having grief and suffering.
As they mourn the loss of Hassan and support his loved ones, let us also honor his memory by working towards a future of greater compassion, justice, and understanding for all. It is only through our collective efforts and commitment to change that we can hope to build a better world for ourselves and for generations to come. The tragic shooting of Hassan Al-Rahji has left an indelible mark on the Warren community and beyond. It is a sobering reminder of the challenges we face as a society in addressing mental health, police-community relations, and systemic inequities.